You cannot catch the same water in the same river. That is something you must have heard, which means once the water is passed, it's gone. Similarly, you might have bombed your 10th class, 12th class, in some cases your graduation. You might have gone through a gap year or you are currently in one. All these things, of course, will require strong justification when you are sitting in front of a PI panel. How to do that? Allow me to help you with that, especially if you are preparing for current year's CAT. Let's take a look at what constitutes a profile. Listen to this thing intently. I'm sure for a lot of you, this is a real problem. Generally, a profile is comprised of these things. One is your academic background. Background means majorly your graduation degree. It could be an engineering degree, it could be a non-engineering degree. Within non-engineering also there can be various types of degrees. When they look for an academic profile in terms of your background, they give you some sort of a diversity score. In most of the cases, engineers do not get a diversity score, but let's say an MBBS person or somebody from law will get a diversity score. If you are already part of some sort of an academic background, then you can decide for yourself whether you will get extra marks for that or not. In your mind, I think it was very important that you be clear on that. The second thing is academic profile. Profile here simply means the marks that you have gotten. In fact, let me talk a bit more about profile here. Marks that you have gotten simply means your 10th, 12th and graduation score. These two will be fixed, 10th and 12th, because when you are preparing for your MBA entrance exam, you are probably in your graduation or you might have already crossed it. If you are in the graduation, then graduation score is still under your control. If you have already crossed that, then it is not in your control. If it is in your control, it is important that you deal with that. Anyway, I was talking about this thing called academic profile. Third thing is the pedigree. Pedigree here means that which graduation college you are from. Some colleges do give a bit of merit to, let's say, people from the top 50 colleges according to the NIRF rankings. Most of the IITs fall into that. But that is not very significant. So if you are not from any of those top colleges, that's still okay. Fourth thing is your work ex. If it is relevant for you, great, you will get some marks for that. If it is not relevant for you, you will not get marks for work experience wherever work experience marks are awarded. And there also, there is a graph that at a particular level, the work experience marks will keep on increasing. But when you reach some level of work experience in terms of, let's say, 36 months in some cases, 48 months in some cases, the marks will either be stagnant there or they will start to reduce also, depending upon college. But yes, you get some marks for work experience. Then professional certificate. Professional certificate means some additional content that you have done to justify your candidature for your MBA. Let's say you are from engineering background, you might be interested in finance. If you have done, let's say, a basics of accounting or financial modeling course, then that is your professional certification that will add value to it. But yes, wait, professional certification again is of two types. One professional certification is CA, CS, CWA, etc. Now, when you fill these in your CAT form, then you straight away get the marks for that. But there are some other professional certifications which are non-finance based among these that I just talked about. In that case, you will not get marks for the initial shortlist, but they will help you in your final PI discussion, personal interview. And then your positions of responsibilities and extracurricular activities. Again, none of these things really help you with your first shortlist, but extensively help you during your PI. Now, some of you might be thinking, PI, I'll deal with that. Eventually, it is important for me to get a shortlist from the college. So I don't have to worry about all these things. I'm sorry, you have to worry about these things, and here is why. Normally, every single college creates a composite score for initial calculation and the final score calculation also. And let's say that a composite score looks like that. This weightage will vary, but in general, let's say for the first shortlist, CAT score is 70% of the total composite score. Academics will constitute 15%, followed by work experience of 10%, and academic and gender diversity, which means whether you are a female or not, is 5% each. Whatever things are applicable to you here will result in your final selection. But when we talk about PI, in case of PI, composite score assumes somewhere around 40 to 70% of the PI score which is very subjective in that case because they will assess you on their own understanding, and rest 30-40% will be the existing composite score. And that is where it is important for you to have PORs. If you don't have that POR, you are basically playing with a significant percentage of your final score. And I know that not getting the final shortlist and getting the initial shortlist is very painful. Anyway, this is the general understanding, which means that if your ACADS are compromised somewhere, then you have to deal with the rest of the portion that is in your control. Let's take a look at what those things can be. One is that you work on graduation marks, if that is in your control right now. If you do that, great, you will get more marks for that. Second thing is try for work experience. If you have time, it is a good idea to garner some of it. Now, for the current year, let's say if you are currently in April or March, then going for work experience might be good or might not be good also, because when you will fill the CAT form, it will require you to fill the work experience till July end. And from April to July, how many months are there? April, May, June, July, 4 months. And 4 months of work experience does not give you any score. Yes, it will be really helpful during PI for you to justify that I was doing something. Then try to get some professional certificates, especially the certificates which require less time and are slightly or quite relevant to the type of management discipline you want to take in, which means that you must decide your management discipline right now. And I'll come to this slide once again in just a minute. Coming back to the previous idea, professional certificates. Do them. From where you can do them? You can do them from Coursera, you can do them from Swayam portal, you can do them from EDX, you can do them from LinkedIn Learning, whatever is comfortable with you. IMS has a tie-up with Coursera, so you get a lot of discount on their courses. You can check that out on Google. IMS Coursera, it will help you. In fact, we have created a separate video on how to make your profile. Please check that out on our YouTube channel. This will give you a comprehensive understanding of how to deal with professional certificates. In fact, in that video, we have also suggested the types of courses for each of the prominent management disciplines, for marketing, operations, IT, HR, finance, etc. Good enough? And finally, deal with your PORs and ECAs. Normally, if you are in your college, you can actually do positions of responsibility. Let's say you are organizing a fest, you are in training and placement cell of your college, or the entrepreneurship cell of your college. Anything where you are assuming a leadership position is position of responsibility. If you are not assuming a leadership position, then it is just an extracurricular participation and so on. And always try to not just be a participant if you can be an organizer. Balance it out, but do something. If you have already graduated, maybe you cannot do anything about it, but participate in 1 or 2 NGOs and do something for them. But balance out your CAT preparation with that. But yes, if you are in your gap year, you must do something about it. Anyway, how do you balance the gap then? First is your work experience, as we talked about. Second is professional certificate that we talked about. Third is PORs and ECA that we talked about. You must do them. One or all of them, but you must do them. They will ask you why you are just preparing for CAT, and it will not reflect well on you. Reach out to your mentors. Reach out to us to understand how you can incorporate 1 or 2 certifications in your existing schedule. We will help you. And then, this is where I talked about that when you do professional certifications, how do you assess which particular specialization I should go for? I am telling you that you might not be able to fully decide on that, but you at least should not be fully blank on it. For that, I'm going to give you 2 sources. One source is this. We have a playlist on IMS CAT Prep which will talk about the specializations in just 5 minutes or so. It's a case-based method. This will help you. Then in the same set of videos, we have also provided some books that you can read which will quickly tell you whether you are interested in that or not. Sorted? And then there is another book called Bell the Cat by Tony Xavier that you can buy. It's a good asset to have. Again, in that, these things are quite well discussed as to how you can gauge your specialization push. Anyway, another thing is that try your My IMS zero fee program. You should be able to check what sort of material IMS can provide you and can help you with that. And this will also sort of give you some sort of an idea about the IMS course era thing, because you will start receiving communications related to it. And for any further issues, feel free to reach out to us. So start today, and all the very best for your CAT preparation.